Welcome to Top Hill Recording Podcast, the podcast where we ask a band, an artist to come in, give us some original tunes. We sit, we talk about those tunes, talk about the band, the journey to get here and into this room, and then what's going on from there. So tonight we have familiar face and some non-returning guests, first-time guests, excuse me. We have been in the room debating what the band name is going to be. So hopefully during this podcast, we figure that out. No pressure. But tonight, our guest, Eric Lindquist.
Golden sun, I couldn't do no wrong, I'd never hurt no one. But now that I'm older, I see the damage done. There's poison in the praises, there's bullets in that gun. I've had my share of heartache, caused my share of pain. I carry all these sorrows, they're running through my veins. Sometimes I get upset, sometimes I'm feeling blue. Sometimes I get restless and I take it out on you. But all I want is a second chance to find my way back home. All I want is a true romance, someone to call my own. When I was a young boy, dream most every day, but my teacher said, hey son, gotta put those dreams away. You're gonna have to labor, you're gonna have to toil, and if you ever wanna win, gotta burn that midnight oil. But all I want is a second chance to find my way back home. All I want is a true romance, someone to call my own. Let's go. If I'm happy, that's hard to say. The answer to that question changes day to day. I'm not asking for your judgment or your sympathy. This is the life I chose, it's the one for me. But all I want is a second chance to find my way back home. All I want is a someone to call my own. My mama always told me I was a golden son.
Yeah. Well done.
The lines on your face are getting deeper. Your eyes, the struggle to see. Your body doesn't move like it used to. Your life isn't what it used to be. You were always the life of the party, surrounded by family and friends. Now I see you staring out the window, wondering what lies up ahead. Where you gonna go? Where you gonna go, my sweetest one? Well, I know that you're tired and you're worried. ahead looks cold and gray. It's hard to see through all the hate. In the light of the day, you can find your way. In the light of the sun, there's room for everyone. In the light of the day, you can find your way. In the light of the sun, there's room for everyone. Well, you're burdened by what you see, and you're afraid of what might be. And the walls are closing in. The water's rising, but you can't swim. Don't give in to despair, or to the lie that no one cares. I'll be right here next to you, whispering in your ear what is true. In the light of the day, you can find your way. In the light of the sun, there's room for everyone. In the light of the day, you can find your way. In the light of the sun, there's room for everyone. For everyone. There's a candle in the window, a light at the tunnel's end. There is water in this desert. It's just around the bend. It's right around the bend. There's no magic pill, and it's a long climb up the hill. But if you look up to the sky, you can see the sun's about to rise. In the light of the day, you can find your way. In the light of the sun, there's room for everyone. In the light of the day, you can find your way. In the light of the sun, there's room for everyone. In the light of the day, you can find your way. In the light of the sun, there's room for everyone.
And the fill in the blanks. No, we'll figure that part out later. How you doing, man?
Good. Thanks for having us. It's a great experience.
Very, very happy. Anna, welcome back. Becoming a staple in the room, so it's good to have you back. But killer tunes, man. A lot of times, as I talk about a lot, I hear the beat first, but your tunes, man, it keyed me right into the lyrics. Very, very good songs. Just well written, telling a story of I think like where you are, some of the stuff that you kind of gone through to get to where, kind of what we do when we talk about this thing, which is always a good part about songwriting and doing all that stuff, is really just kind of getting it out. So, I guess first thing, man, let's go back and kind of, if you would, go all the way back to the beginning and kind of just fill us in on the upbringing, what got you
Okay.
into music, and when you knew
Yeah.
you were going to be doing this.
Well, I grew up, I wanted to get in a band, and I was a teenager, and I had some buddies who were playing in a band. And so I learned guitar well enough to try to audition. So I auditioned, and they're like, yeah, well, Eric, we like you, but we don't really need a guitar player. So we need a bass player. If you're willing to play bass, we'll take you on. So I learned to play bass, and I learned to just love music and playing with friends. And that was, I grew up in a small town in Western New York. And so that was kind of my formative experience. Just love for music just came. Songwriting is something that came a little bit later. And so after college, a buddy of mine, we decided to move out to California to try to make it in music. You know how it is. And with pretty much no success whatsoever.
No, did you have a game plan for success?
No, we had no game plan. We just drove out because a buddy had moved out before, and he said, "Hey, you got to come out to California. That's where stuff is happening." We were in Rochester, New York, where nothing was happening anyway. So we really just drove across the country, and we thought we were going to L.A., but my friend actually lived in Orange County, which is like the suburbs. And so like we weren't even in the actual music scene place in Southern Cal. But anyway, long story short, that didn't work. I ended up saying, well, I gotta get a regular job, and I got married, had kids, moved up to Salt Lake City. But all through the while, I'm always playing music. I'm always trying to play in bands and write songs here and there. And then moved back to California after a while. And in 2019, just something broke with the songwriting. I don't know what it was. I had a theme that kind of came to me. The first record I came out with is based on my experiences growing up in Western New York in a small town, and just people and places and things. So it kind of had a theme, and I kind of went with it and kind of broke loose something in me songwriting wise. And so I'd never made a solo record, but I said I got 10 tunes. They all kind of fit together. So I called a friend of mine who produced and did that record. So that's kind of my journey. But then what happened a few years later, 2023, ended up moving to Louisville just a year and a half ago.
For any particular reason?
I've been remote with my job, which is selling optical lenses. Nothing too exciting, but my company is based in Louisville. And the opportunity came to be in the home office, so to speak. And I took it because it seemed like a cool thing to do. And Louisville, I'd visited a few times. It was a cool place. But coming to Louisville was really the impetus for this next record, because the songs I started going to bluegrass jams, open mics, trying to meet people. And the music here had a different flavor than I was used to. And it was really inspiring. Some of these players I met in these bluegrass jams were crazy. Went to open mics, which really helped me like flesh out the tunes, and just songs started coming. So this last record was really all birthed out of the move to Louisville. And there's a song called The Blue Bluegrass of Kentucky, which kind of tells, if you listen to it, it tells a little bit of my journey and story. But again, meeting some people here, like Nathan here who plays bass, and Andy, they're both songwriters, and just been inspired by the creativity of Louisville, and meeting some really great musicians like Jerry and Anna as well. I think this Louisville is full of great musicians, and it's been a real inspiring time for me. So, but this last record was, I thought I had some good songs, so I decided to call up Facebook, message a producer that I knew, And I admired his music. I said, "Hey, you interested in producing my record?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll do it."
Man, the word that comes to mind that I wrote down just hearing you and hearing that, it takes a certain spirit and type of person, especially being young and going, yeah, I'm going to totally move across the country. There's no real plan. I have a friend that's out here, not even knowing where you're landing, really. I mean, LA's a big spot. Orange County isn't LA,
It's not.
So, and then, living the life, going to Utah, getting back, and then ending up in a spot you never lived before. And still being in that mindset that being creative and just now getting into the flow of things, it like even from youth on to where you are now, there seems to be this spirit of just like, I'm going to go with it. I'm going to just land where I feel like I need to be. Even if something's pulling you there, I don't know I don't know how it is on the inside. I don't know if you're fighting these things or if it's just something you're going to go get. But to do all that and to take these big, if you look at it on a map, those are, pretty, it's wild to end up in Louisville, Kentucky. And you are right that you probably couldn't have landed in a softer scene for musicians starting up. And I mean that in the most positive way, a place that is so uplifting for people that are trying to figure out a song
No
or
doubt.
trying to get together with other people. And
it's definitely a communal atmosphere as opposed to a competitive atmosphere. Or I'd say in Southern California, it was just kind of, I was in the suburbs a lot, so it was disjointed, there wasn't a central community that you could kind of get a hold of. But in Louisville, it's kind of somewhat easy. You find the different places to connect with people, and there's a real willingness of people like to support. And I like, look at this. I've got a room full of people who are super talented and are willing to do my music with me. It's just, it's been really, really good. But it is weird doing it. Like, I'm doing what I wanted to do at a younger age at an older age. So it's a weird kind of, it's just a weird situation, right?
Here's what happened, man. You just didn't have anything to say for a long time. And then you're like, all right, 2019, I got some things I finally need to get off my chest.
That's true.
Especially if you're a bass playing for a long time, bass players don't have a lot to say. Nathan does more than play bass, so that's why. I'm just kidding.
No, you're right.
It's really true, and what's really interesting? You have to make a shift. The bass player mindset is a totally supportive mindset.
Your
job, your job is just to support and to bring, just something solid. And the artist, singer, songwriter thing is a whole different mindset that I kind of had to. And still, I'm finding my voice in.
Totally makes sense to me as a player. I'm sure Spencer too, because he's done both in educational settings and just playing around town. So there is a total difference there, which was interesting. How you were talking about other singer-songwriters and musicians in the band that do those things, because I was listening to the conversations when we kind of had things breaking down, and that's what it was talking about. It was talking about you guys talking about each other's tunes and talk. I love that dialogue. It's always fun, because it's a ton of cutting up generally in here and laughing and stuff. But even in between that, you hear these things, and a lot of times it's talking about just what you were saying, this going to open mics and meeting these other people. And I play in this other band. I mean, like a staple for me, if Anna walks in the room, whoever is going to be in the room with her is going to be a bunch of good musicians.
Yeah.
That's, they're Shannon Better. There's certain people that if they walk in the room, you go, this band's going to be really, really good because they don't waste their time. They don't have time to waste time. The music's going to be good. The songs are going to be good. So, that is always like, I would say a feather in your cap for the songwriting and to have.
Well, I think you're right though.
In your band.
As being older, you don't have time to waste, right? And you'll learn, I'm going to play with really good people because I don't have any time to waste.
Well, and doing the things like asking, actually taking the time to make those connections and reach out and build those, having that bravery, because a lot of times musicians are a little bit more introverted than extroverted. So it's until you get that connection, it's hard. So to be able to step out and ask invitations, especially with other singers and songwriters that play their stuff so well. Andy, everything that you played had so much flavor and set where it needed to be in the song. There was no overplaying. It was just, everything had a place in everything that everybody did. And that's the stuff that I love to hear. It doesn't overwhelm your ears. There's, pockets. And so, yeah, man, you got a killer group here for sure.
One thing too that I think is really important that you said is that you're not going to waste time playing with just anybody. You want to play with good people, not just talented people, but good people. And I feel like here in Louisville, we have an excellent community that wants to take care of each other. And we all want to help each other and see each other, quote unquote, whatever your make it big is. We all want to see each other succeed. And yeah, I just think it's really important to point out that you said good people, not just talented.
There's no question. And all these people fit that description.
I would agree.
I think, Eric, you kind of opened my eyes to that concept, because we would meet people at open mics. We would get together and get at the Monarch and jam. And then some people just we couldn't quite vibe with or whatever. And we're trying to put together a show or album release. And you said something like, we need to find people who are good, because your music deserves it, and also who vibe well. And I think that's kind of what you're saying. So and I guess how I was not raised, but musically coming up, it was kind of like you kind of got who you got, and with sometimes they were really hard to get along with, and they may be talented, but it's nice when you find that vibe. You find that people who are talented, who are also, like you said, really good people to get together with.
For sure. And almost the songs too, like the songs are a little, you get attached to the song. So you want the best for the songs, right? Yeah. And so that's part of it too.
And something like they're mentioning, I learned a really great lesson from one of my mentors, who was Jeff Guernsey.
Oh, Guernsey.
He was my fiddle teacher in high school, mandolin teacher, and he's like, I have 3 criterias for whether I do a gig or not. I was like, oh yeah? And he was like, is it a good hang? Are they good people? Is it good music? Are you playing good music that you enjoy playing? And then the third one, which I don't think is the most important, but is it a good paying gig?
Yeah.
He's like, if you have 2 out of those 3,
yep,
it's worth doing.
100%.
And I have held that with me my entire, I guess, adult life since he told me that. I was like, that's a good way to decide whether you're going to, play something.
Absolutely.
That is great life advice from a freaking area legend.
Yeah, living legend.
Everybody that meets that man talks about how highly of a regard they hold him in. And probably for reasons like that. If you show up with that type of attitude where you're like, dude, I'm going to have a good time because I'm either love this music or, love the hang, the money's good, But if the money's good and one of those other 2 things good, you're there for the right reasons because you're there for, good stuff. So how do you weed out who you play with at this point? I mean, you're busy.
That could be a really touchy subject. So I have 4 bands I play with pretty regularly. I'm lucking out this year because Tim Gooden is doing a lot of solo stuff out west.
Okay.
Which is all solo stuff. I think we have 2 full band gigs this year. So that kind of took a little of the pressure off. I don't know. It's, right now it's very much first come, first serve. You book me, you don't book me. I mean, if it's a music festival or something very prominent, that's going to take precedence. Yeah. If it's going to pay my mortgage, that's going to take precedence. Yeah. So, I mean, it's just an open, honest dialogue between, all the band leaders. Yeah. So it's just kind of like, this is how it is, So, because I love all of the people I play with.
Yeah, it's like I could imagine that would hurt, especially musicians. We're a little bit tender sometimes. I would imagine that would hurt feelings from time to time.
And there's some projects I'm more prominent
mm-hmm.
in than others. Some projects can do a show without me.
Yeah.
Some I play a lot of solos, or I'm very prominent, and like I'm a very strong presence in that project. So that takes a little consideration as well. So
sweet. Yeah, I guess if all 3 boxes are checked, that one gets the priority. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Guernsey, it's Guernsey's fault. It's all 3. No, I'm just
blame Guernsey. We'll just say blame Guernsey.
Blame Guernsey on that one. No, man, this is a really, really, again, good project. What was the title of the first song, Spencer?
It was The Golden Sun.
Golden Sun. Let's talk about the Golden Sun just a little bit. Tell us a little bit about that song, because we're thinking about doing some things a little bit different where we can just insert the songs when we talk about them. We're going to get fancy, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Watch it. Won't
Maybe.
be this episode. But yeah, tell us about Golden Sun.
Yeah, Golden Sun. I don't know. It's a little bit of a wordplay. There's this. I have this in a lot of my songs. This kind of longing for home, or some sense of like the place you're supposed to be, or the where you're supposed to be, where it feels right. So that's kind of in the chorus. And the verses, there's some little I like to place truths in my life just so I can connect with something. So there's some true things. Like there's a line that says, that some of the teacher, told me you have, I was distracted as a little kid, and one of my teachers wrote on report card, like, he gets distracted too easily and he daydreams too much. And that's in there just so I can kind of connect with it and ground myself in the song.
Favorite.
And the Golden Sun, my mom kind of favored me somewhat, in the family.
Child.
And that created it was nice, but also created some problems. So that, just little snippets of life. But there's the song is just about like a longing to be where you're supposed to be, whether it be creatively or relationally or whatever, at home, at peace.
Do you find yourself able to do that wherever you are? I mean, as somebody who's had a home on one side of the United States and then the other, and then
no, I'm not. I'm also kind of a restless soul, like looking for that, like that place, and so Louisville's been really good because I've been able to find these. Like when we're playing here, I'm feeling at home. I'm feeling. I'm playing my songs with people who are really good and that I like, and so that's just like that's home to me, right? But I do have this little bit of a restless spirit, trying, a little bit of melancholy that goes in me. So I'm. My wife's a little bit more grounded. Like she can she'd be happy wherever. But I'm always kind of looking for that. And the whole record is based on this concept. It's called Between the Earth and Sky. It's a tension between like everyday life and those peaks that you want to go for, and living in the tension. That's really what the record is about.
So is it, in that tension, do you find the balance? Do you find it? Sometimes
you find the balance. And sometimes you find, I'm just going to get through the day because it's the day. And sometimes you find those places of, oh, this is awesome. And this is one of those awesome, when playing music with people is kind of.
Call that the balance. Yeah.
Or
is that the height?
That's the sky.
Okay. It's weird when you have those moments as musicians, as all of you all do, and Spencer and myself. They're hard to put into words and explain. And it's hard to know that that's a level that you can be at and then have to just live normal.
Right.
So that makes total sense in a way that I've never thought about before.
Even within a song, there's that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You'll be on one song, and then there'll be a moment that happens, like Andy will play something, or Anna will play something, or Jerry will do something, or we'll all come together on something, and it'll just be like a little surprising. And you'd be like, oh, that is so cool, right? And those are the moments you're kind of like looking for.
Yeah, it's to have flavor from other songwriters, the songwriting minds especially. Like Andy, I know you do your own thing, so you're coming into as a as a lead instrument, putting flavor on ideas that maybe as a songwriter you wouldn't think about the melody lines or those other things. I mean, has it changed? Has any of this kind of changed your concept of writing and putting other things into what you do?
It's a great question. So what it has done for me is made me think I need to write songs with Eric, right? And I need to write songs with Nathan, right? Because I'm exposed to their ideas. I can't copy them. I can't do them as good. I can take the inspiration, absolutely, but rather than take the inspiration, let's just do it together. So most of the writing I do is on my own or with my wife. Occasionally Zoom writes. So one of the things that Eric keeps talking about is this like really welcoming, warm community in Louisville. And, you're seeing a small section of it right here on the couch, right? And on the stool over there. And rather than be inspired and copy it, I want to get down and write together. And actually, I was going to write with Nathan and Eric on a song about the Bernheim Forest Giants.
Yes, please.
Yeah. And hold on, but Nathan finished it without us, and it's phenomenal.
Hold on.
Okay, no, it's really
as a Bernheim employee.
Yeah.
Like, when do I get to hear this?
It's done.
I kind of wrote it, but like I'm still not satisfied. So I would love to get together and work.
Yeah, well, we should, because I want in on it. Like we were rehearsing, right? So Anna works in for Bernheim Forest,
Yes.
right? Not in, but for.
Yes.
And so
Maybe into.
we what?
Maybe it's her
They
job's
don't
located
make
in
her stay out of it.
It's yeah. It's
Either or, I'll take both.
It's roped off with stanchions. But we were rehearsing for Eric's record release and like got to talking about it or whatever. Nathan goes, "Oh yeah," and starts whistling like an angel and bird combination or whatever. It's just like amazing, right? And so I to get back to the point though, I'm inspired and rather than try to copy it, I want to be involved with it. Right, rather than try to do my own spin on
it. When you can get in the room like that, Nathan, we're going to get to you and talk about some of your songwriting because, we're getting checked up here to where everybody's getting the big, tip of the cap for being really good. Nights like this, you just wish that you could do that. All of you all played in each other's band, which I know you play. Eric plays bass for Nathan
and
Andy.
Andy.
Yeah. And Andy's been playing lead for me in some of my shows.
Jerry's
all right,
played for,
we could have done it, you
yeah.
guys. We could have had all three, all the projects done in one little.
Andy's
Jerry's
played for me.
for Nathan as well.
Anna's played on some of my single releases. So yeah, and she's joining me at a show.
Anna's my bass player. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't want that.
the mandolin, right?
I can't play mandolin.
Yeah, I know you can, but like everyone hires you to play fiddle, right? Yeah,
which is fine. Yeah. I like fiddle better, but
more natural, more comfortable at the fiddle.
Yeah, I'm happy. That's my happy place.
I don't know, man. Mandolin is awesome, but there's just something about it.
I can play some beautiful Italian waltzes on a mandolin.
Oh yeah, I can.
Wait, you just played a show recently, right? Where you were playing mandolin.
Me and my husband did a very rare duo show.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was that? Tell us about that.
That was at the BA Colonial, aka the old.
Just in our neighborhood. Why didn't I know?
Louisville
about
Gardens,
this?
across from Iroquois Park. Yeah. We played some fiddle tunes, some folk tunes. We covered some White Stripes, and then we ended the night with Freebird with some looped mandolin and fiddle. So yeah.
So he played fiddle. You play mando, or
he played upright bass then?
He played upright.
Yeah,
and it was just you two.
Fiddle and mandolin. I played and singing, and yeah.
Wait, so for Freebird, you play mandolin. You say, okay, it's time.
I mandoed. So I know the whole entire Freebird solo on fiddle. So I looped the mandolin chords.
Yeah.
Put my mandolin down. I was like,
that's awesome.
And I played the entire guitar solo on the fiddle.
I've heard it. We've heard it. We've
you have heard me play Freebird.
Yeah,
Freebird.
Yes, I'm bringing one of my kids' old violins or fiddles next year for Fuzzy Pig, so you can light it on fire. On stage.
Jimi Hendrix style.
So you don't have to do yours.
I have lit a bow on stage.
I have
fire.
I saw that too. I was there for that show. That was freaking cool.
Yeah, with
Spencer can bring us a unusable one.
Yep. Frustration. It was freaking nasty.
Ooh.
It was so cool.
Yeah. So you never know. There's always something to do.
Are you playing that festival again this year?
Shannon Vetter and the Sleepless Pilgrims in Bourbon Britches Friday night at the Fuzzy Pig Festival.
Hey, Fuzzy Pig, that's going to come up. That's a great one. Are you guys playing? You need to get involved in that, man. That's a fun one.
It's hard. That's still a work in progress. Trying to get into the gig scene is a little harder. In this
if you all want to play Fuzzy Piglet next year,
I would love to.
Let's get on it.
Hey.
Please.
I will get you on that.
Wait,
I will take you up on that.
Let's go.
And if you want to do a set,
can you help me?
I will help you both.
Okay.
I'll just be like,
I would like to.
You got 3.
Okay, we will figure something out.
All right, so
a whole day of just you all.
You're all
I'm going to be like, y'all, you need the fiddler at large. All my people.
You're the
all my people.
Oh, can you do
a
that
little
this
leverage.
Year?
Yeah.
Would you do that this year?
I'll talk to Ryan. I'll be like, who wants fiddle Friday night? Friday. Because I'm only available Friday.
A whole day, a whole
I don't
stage.
play till Saturday morning.
Whole stage. I'll be like, this is the Anna Blanton stage today.
That sucks. I wish you were there Saturday morning.
I know.
I wish.
Because you would be with us for that day or that hour or whatever.
Who are you playing? Wait.
I'm in his band.
Yeah, with me.
Yeah.
Well, I was booked the 26th. I don't know if I am at this point.
I don't even
It's a
know
long
what days
story,
are there
but,
at this point. But yeah, we're setting up. That'll be we'll have the Top Hill crew out with all the cameras and stuff. We're going to do interviews.
Are you all going to be there Friday?
Yeah, we'll be there the whole
Sweet.
Yeah, we'll be there all weekend.
All right, I want to hang out with you all at least.
We'll be there
Come
the
on.
entire time. We'll have the RV set up and the whole
We'll have some snacks.
dealio to where we can just hit the button hopefully and have the outside of it with cameras and maybe a little bonfire so people can just sit around and talk shit. That's what I'm hoping for.
Not talk shit, but just talk.
I mean,
maybe a little talk shit.
Talk shit about, like, hey, how's you doing? Not like talk shit about
like
people.
shoot the shit.
Yeah, shoot the shit.
Shoot the shit. There we go.
Better. You said it.
There we
better.
go.
My
Shoot
bad.
the shit.
Talk shit. That doesn't sound good.
We're just gonna sit there and talk shit all night.
That sounds kind of negative.
Yeah.
It sounds
We're gonna shoot
not
the
good.
shit.
Yes, that's better.
All right, we're gonna shoot the shit. That's what I meant. That's totally what I meant. I hope everybody knows that. All right, thank you, Nathan.
If you change your mind, I got a lot of angst. So
Okay.
I'm ready.
Andy,
Let's go.
Okay.
We
Go
don't
the
talk
other way.
negative about people.
Maybe you don't, but
Some of us need music therapy.
I just need therapy.
All right, you guys. So we have definitely. So Brad, my man Weston, who started this thing with me, he has Weston's questions for it. You all, not me, and they are gems. He sent me a text yesterday and said, "Hey, man, don't get on me for Weston's questions. You got 1,287 of them to choose from." Not really, but it was hilarious. So, Brad, I think you got great questions, buddy.
I like them. I like them. All right. So the first Weston's question is: if your music had a signature scent, what would it smell like and why?
See, they are good.
Swedish meatballs.
Sounds
Okay.
Sounds
I was
delicious.
not expecting that one.
Hold on, let me smell this.
Is that why my mouth was watering during?
He said, because that stuff was saucy. I like it, man. Swedish
It's just
meatballs. Got a little
my dad was Swedish. My mom made great Swedish meatballs for him on behalf of him. So
it's like home. The taste and
I like that.
Beautiful.
I like that.
Love it.
All right. So the next one is: if you could time travel to any musical era, which one would you choose to play in? And what would your band name be?
Oh, band name.
It's a hard question.
Probably the 60s for sure for me.
Are you in a rockabilly band in the 60s?
No.
No.
More like, Beatles and
Yeah.
That kind of thing. But I don't know band name.
The Beatles.
There's another band called like a fake Beatles band. Like I forget the name now.
The Rigby's?
Not the Bungles or something. Something like
Beagles.
The Beagles.
Brit Beat. The Bungles.
I can't remember what its band was, but anyway, they were pretty funny. They were kind of anyway.
The Monkees.
I love the Monkees. Okay.
I like the Monkees too.
No, Monkees. All right, I'm going to give you guys some
I love your passion already. Please.
Transparency. My earliest influences musically was like a K-Tel record, which a bunch of, Chevy Van and a bunch of songs on there. The Monkees, like big time. And that's, I think, where I kind of got the concept of a band and friends hanging out and playing together. And Barry Manilow. I don't know. Barry Manilow kind of like had this emotive thing that I was doing. But Fleetwood Mac was like, as I progressed and got better with my influences, Fleetwood Mac was.
He said better with my influences.
But Monkees were big to me. I love the Monkees. And Mike Nesmith particularly.
Well, Mike Nesmith was a real musician.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and I don't mean that
He's
about
really
it.
good
I'm sorry.
songwriter.
I don't mean that in a negative way about your Monkees.
No.
But yeah, he was actually a real. He was in other bands and stuff, right?
But I, as a kid, I didn't know better that
I totally.
Hey, a band hanging out together. I didn't know that they didn't play their instruments and all that stuff.
And it was the Wrecking Crew, right? That played all.
Yes,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is killer. I mean, it's as good as you get back in the day.
Not to get off subject, but there's a great Monkees documentary that explains the whole thing and where they said, "Hey, we want to play our own music," and they didn't. Don Kirshner did not want them to do it, and they had to fire Don Kirshner in order to play their own music. So I mean, they did take control over it after a while.
How'd that work?
Really good songwriting because they had all these great songwriters writing for them.
Yeah, no doubt.
So actually, one of the first CDs I bought was the Monkees' Greatest Hits.
I have that.
I haven't thought about this in a long time.
CD.
Yeah. Man, what a banger. And like, it's totally because of the Wrecking Crew. You're totally right. Right. And they did try to revolt, but like the Monkees, if I remember, I mean, it was a casting call, right?
Yeah. Yes,
like,
it was.
So you had to show up. Like you knew what you were signing up for, even though I totally get it because I've done things for money that like I regretted later, right? With like, for instance, perhaps being in a band and being told you couldn't play your instruments or whatever. But yeah, I haven't thought about the Monkees as being an influence in a long time.
They are definitely influenced me.
I actually like your passion. When I said it, you're like, ooh, Monkees.
Yeah.
You're like, hold up.
Well, because it's not common, right?
Yeah.
Most people won't call out the Monkees as an influence,
but
even if it was true.
I do like it. I do like it because I remember watching that show, reruns. I hope they were reruns. I don't know. And loving the music. It was totally cool, but it was like that Beatles-esque thing, and there was something cool about it. So, and then you learn, later on about the Wrecking Crew and all that other stuff. So, all right, what you got over there, buddy?
All right, so it is. If your music, oh wait, that was the wrong one. My bad.
He's colorblind, you guys. I apologize. It's true.
Yeah, I mean, I am colorblind. Not blind though.
Oh,
but. Okay. If your music had to be turned into a movie, who would you all have play yourselves?
Don't say Davy Jones, bro.
Okay, I have this one because I've thought really hard about it.
Love it.
I would love Reese Witherspoon to play me.
Nice.
Okay.
Very nice.
That's it.
Yeah.
I love Reese Witherspoon. Or in a really weird way, Zoe Deschanel.
Oh,
like if there was some blend of those two, it would be those would be my. Anyway, go on.
I
don't. How about you, Andy?
Dug it.
Oh man, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Jerry?
Oh no, we gotta.
Anybody?
We gotta.
I mean, Anna's in.
She jumped all over it.
She was so ready for that.
I know.
It was amazing.
I watch a lot of movies.
I thought you were just waiting for somebody to ask you that question eventually. Oh, I got it.
Who played Morpheus on The Matrix?
Oh,
what's that guy's name?
Keanu, man.
I want him.
Lawrence
I want him.
to play you.
But hey,
I mean, if it's okay, if you guys are okay with it.
Keanu Lawrence.
Is he in the budget?
Oh,
Keanu.
He's definitely on the budget.
Oh my gosh,
Is
we're
there a
doing
budget?
so good.
No,
We have Keanu
no
Reeves,
budget.
Lawrence Fishburne, and Reese
I've got it.
Witherspoon.
I got Tom
How
Waits
awesome
for me.
is-
Tom
Oh,
Waits.
of course.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
good. That's good.
Jerry.
I'm going to go with Ben Stiller.
Good.
Maybe
Oh.
Zoolander version. I'm not
Good
sure.
call.
I'm gonna go.
We got
I'm
a
gonna go
Grammy. We got like a Grammy and like an Emmy and like the Oscars going here.
Oh yeah, and then you're gonna you're gonna win it all.
That's what I was trying to figure out. What are they called?
What are they called?
I don't know. Hard as hell to get.
No.
Well,
There's
if
a name.
you're British, it's BAFTA. So if you're not British, is it the ERGOT?
ERGOT.
We got an ERGOT
Keanu
going
Reeves
on,
knows
guys.
What's up? You know why? Neo knows everything. That's why. Got this Matrix shit figured out.
I feel like it would be like, Eric, that one song is the one. Maybe something like that.
And I'd be like,
way to play the game. Way to play the game.
You got it going on.
Do you have red pill and blue pill songs? That's the real
there
question,
we go.
right?
Jefferson Airplane?
I'm going to write it.
Yeah, a little.
Jefferson Airplane, right? Red pill, blue pill?
Yep. White rabbit.
Oh, White rabbit. Yeah. I love it. All right.
I have to put a plug in. Okay. Just
please.
This. The Gray Falcon has an animated video online that is really cool. And it's done by an animator in Argentina. She did this animation for me. And it's really cool. So if you look up the Gray Falcon in YouTube, it'll come up. You'll see.
Well, and tell them how to spell it again.
Videos. What's that?
Tell them how to spell it again.
Yeah.
Gray, Gray.
There we go.
Falcon.
Oh, man.
It is a great video. It came out really cool.
I will say, when I played with you at the Monarch, you told the story about the Gray Falcon.
Yes.
And my husband was very moved by said story. You should tell them about that.
Tell us about the Gray Falcon.
Well, the Gray Falcon came about like this. And there's another layer that I found to it recently. But basically, I have friends from high school, and we are on this Facebook chat thing, and we just interact with each other every once in a while. And my one friend just started to tell the story. He said, hey, my grandson who lives with him, he was just talking about what are the family superhero names, and he was going with the family, and he looked at him and said, Grandpa, you're the Gray Falcon. And and it just kind of stuck with me. It was like, Gray Falcon, and that's such a cool concept, right? And so I ended up writing the song, and later on I have someone writing a bio for me, and she was trying to she was writing like, oh, the Gray Falcon represents kind of like an older person doing like good things or things that they want to do. And so, kind of like it's got a deeper meaning than I even thought. I thought it was just kind of a fun little tune that I wrote, and it's got some deeper layers to it. The Gray Falcon, and my friend Craig went to high school with in Western New York. He's the Gray Falcon, really.
That's so cool.
Yeah. And he played it for his grandson, and he was all excited, obviously, that his idea, I thought it was really cool to be able to present his idea became some
video, an animated video.
Yeah.
Man. How cool is that?
Yeah. And so,
check that out online. And perfect segue into where can our viewers, listeners, followers find you and your music and that video?
Video, just YouTube. On all the music's on all the normal stuff. Eric Lindquist, Lindquist. Spotify, YouTube, Amazon, iTunes, all this stuff, and Bandcamp. If anybody wants a physical CD, which not too many people seem to want anymore, but you can buy a physical CD through Bandcamp.com.
Perfect. Andy, what about you, man? People that want to listen to your stuff, any of that stuff, where can they find you?
Yeah, so andybranton.com is the the clearinghouse for everything, but Spotify 100% the usual places. If you want to follow the gigs, Bands in Town is what I'm leaning on right now. I put all the gigs in there, so gigs that I'm playing for other people, they wind up in there as well.
Perfect.
And then gigs that I'm playing for myself, write my own solo, full band, whatever, they also go through Bands in Town.
All right, Jerry, where can we find you, man?
Oh, well, I actually play mostly in a cover band called The Rumors.
Oh, right, right on, man.
And we play quite a bit, so...
Rumors play all the time.
Yeah, so if you go to therumors.net, our schedule's there, or you go to Facebook. But it's one of the things that I super enjoy about doing this. It seems like another lifetime ago that I was doing original bass music, and to be able to get back to that with some really good players has been super fun. So yeah,
awesome. Nathan.
You can find my stuff out there, NathanDonaldsonMusic.com, as well as iTunes and all the Instagram. Just search my name, Nathan Donaldson Music, Facebook, and then like they said, iTunes and Amazon Music, all those things. And actually, did a recent release of a song called Puzzle, which Anna played with me on. It a really awesome. Nice fiddle, and I got a couple more releases coming. So yeah, those are the usual places, and I do a lot of videos on the TikTok and all that stuff too. But not cool or anything.
They're great. They're great. Your wife collaborates on them.
Yeah, she's
an alien character.
Yeah. I love doing promo videos where there's little things in the background, like people with animal head mask on and things. So I do funny stuff like that. And actually, Anna is joining me on a show at a rye brewery on next month on the 14th. So yeah,
well, Anna, what about you? For everybody that's looking for all the stuff you're doing,
all of my stuff lives on my website, annablanton.com, and I just recorded a new EP with the Creakers. It is mixed and mastered and will be coming out very soon.
And we were hoping to get the Creakers in. We just missed because of snow and sicknesses recently. So that's going to be a reschedule. So we'll have you back in, of course, again. And maybe even with Nathan and Andy with their bands once we get that all worked out.
Yep.
Spencer, what about you, my man? Where can people find you if they need your luthier genius?
Well, the camera died.
Repaired.
Oh, there you go.
No, I can take care of you. But it is Spencer.Corbin, Corbin, on all the socials. Hit me up for any of your luthier needs. I can officially fix damn near anything now.
Ooh,
brass, woodwind, classical instruments. I've just fixed an instrument called a Sahi Baja, which is like a mix. It's a native and cultural instrument in India. And it's like kind of like a hammered dulcimer and a sitar mixed together. It's a really neat instrument. But yeah, if you guys need anything fixed or just want to nerd out about gear and stuff like that, hit me up.
There you go. All right. And for if you like, check us out at Top Hill Recording on Spotify, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe.
One click.
If you can, share, do all that stuff. Get it out there. We certainly appreciate you all coming in. Eric, love your tunes, man. Can't wait to get them out there and watch what you do here in the next
little bit,
brother.
We really appreciate it. It's
awesome.
A blast. Thanks.